Somebody over here said, don't get any ideas.
Are there a minimum number of full-time years you have to be in this plan to get the retirement? Like if you've been part-time for many years?
No, it's not a minimum threshold.
Okay.
To set the age. This gentleman.
Do you offer life? Do you offer life insurance on Cobra?
In the Cobra, there is life insurance involved. That's, I think, $7 a month. It's not offered in the retiree package. This gentleman.
What happens if you work on another job and they offer insurance? Do you automatically do it without listening?
The question is, if you are on our early retirement plan and you go to work someplace else and that place has got primary coverage, would you get booted out of this plan? You may wish to stop paying, depending on your situation, but if you continue to pay, you'd have coverage in both places, and where you're working would be primary. Yes, sir.
They're subject to fines, retired at 65. Instead of paying Cobra, if my wife is working somewhere else, she can switch over there.
Yes.
And it's creates the difficulties when we have existing conditions.
The question is, if once you turn 65 and your spouse is younger, if they're working, can they get on their insurance? Theoretically, under healthcare reform, that should be no problem, because we would give you what's called a continuation coverage certificate, and that certificate eliminates all pre-existing. So, but, you know, never ceases to amaze me how employers will try to finagle something, but it shouldn't be a problem.
Matt, the $250, if you're between 50 and 54,
Yes.
does that cover you and your spouse and all dependents?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Question is there a website? There hasn't been one. We've developed them for almost all of our clients, and so we'll be putting that out. Yes. That sounds confusing. Okay. So, no.
He's online now.
All right.
And they pay him $50 a month.
Gotcha. Yep.
Does he have to take his, or can I buy the $200 one?
Currently, right now, you could continue to the manner that you're doing. We have some funds that have got plan language that says, if you've got coverage elsewhere, you've got to take it. This fund does not have that plan language. Yes?
If the participant should die during this pre-retirement part, is the spouse and dependents then have to go to the Cobra?
Yes. The question is, what happens if the participant dies? It's a Cobra event, and they would go to Cobra. Right now, the way this is structured, it's all contingent upon the participant's age and the participant's status. Yes?
If you get married after you're on this retirement, does your spouse then join with you?
The question is, if you're in the retirement plan and you get married afterwards. Yeah, if you get married, if you have kids, and anytime you had dependents, they would be covered.
So if I'm between age 50 and 54, and say I die at 54, does my wife continue to be covered then?
The question is, if you die between the ages of 50 and 54, no, your wife would then have to go on Cobra. The plan is specifically tied to the participant's status. Yep, yes sir. I'm going to walk to you, okay? The question is if participant is 62 and you're 55, no. Once that spouse is Medicare eligible, there's no coordination. She's Medicare. Correct. There's no coordination. Cannot. It is not a Medicare supplement. Yep. Finally, I got the question I was waiting on. Jeez. question is, how does, actually that specific question was, how does Obamacare, I like to call it healthcare reform, but anyways, how does healthcare reform impact your plan? In the short term, the way it impacted it was we changed the definition of dependents consistent with the plan so that it included dependents up to the age of 26. And we also got rid of the lifetime max. So those changes have already happened. Your plan never had pre-existing conditions, and so that, that's a big change that didn't impact your fund. So those have been done, they will stay. In 2014 is when the next kind of wave of healthcare reform comes in. And the single biggest thing it'll do is it'll create what's called state exchanges, where people will be subsidized to go buy insurance. The fund will not, it doesn't appear, will not have access to those subsidies, which I think is disappointing. So I think it'll put some pressure on, particularly at the bargaining level, as to continuing to contribute in the fund when employers can go out and get it subsidized through the government. I think it'll also put some pressure on retiree plans, because as long as there's those exchanges out there where people can get it, I think funds will see less of a need to have a retirement plan. So those are hypothetical. The real changes have already happened. Frankly, if they had gone the other way and overturned it, I don't think the fund would have changed. So those changes are kind of in there already. By the way, I had 6 different $5 bets that it was going to be upheld on a 6-3 vote, but I still collected.
On the vision and the dental plan, was there a deductible on there or not?
The dental, the vision is actually through VSP, and the deductible on the dental is 0. It's a $2,000 annual limit. Okay, I'm going to take a couple more. The people behind me are getting tired of me. I'm going to do this guy and I'm going to work back. No, I tell you what. Yeah, I'll put together kind of the highlights of what we talked about. Shoot it to Trevor and he'll get it to everybody. Okay?
We got one more. How many years do you have to be into the plan for part-time or full-time? Is it 20 years to be in the plan?
There is no, in the health and welfare plan, there is no year provision. What contributions are made, you become eligible. There is no year provision.
Are you talking about retirement or what else? Think about medical.
Retirement medical?
Yeah, retirement medical.
Okay. Yep.
If you have early retirement and you're on the plan, and you get out of the plan for a reason of like maybe employment, you get back into the plan.
The question is, if you start yearly retirement and you leave, you cannot come back. We will allow people to opt out if they show they have other coverage and come back. But if you leave because you don't want to pay it or you think you got something else going, we don't let you come in and out. Yes?
Okay, you retire, you're paying $200 a month, and you make increases on what you pay. Are you froze at that 200, or do you go on with each increase?
You are not froze. That is where you start. You would get the increases. Yeah. Yeah.
To be eligible for retiree coverage, you have to have 20 years of service, or at the age of 57. So that's it.
And it's different than pension. Don't confuse them. Pension is a whole different deal. Yes.
365 Medicare.
Yeah. No, we do not. The question is, does the fund have a Medicare supplement in place? It does not. That's beyond my pay grade. That's a trustee action. We've been talking about it. Yeah.
Just to follow up on healthcare reform, the two that have already gone in,
yes.
26 years of age and the other one, how has that impacted the plan?
The question is, how has healthcare impacted? It's cost the fund money because we now cover people that we wouldn't have covered. Those people have got claims. We also have got a couple of participants that would have maxed out on their lifetime that aren't going to max out. So it costs the fund money. It also provides a better layer of security to those people in that situation. Yep.
Yeah, say if you or your spouse was medicating, before age 65, and you're still in the plan, for example, now how does that carry over? Say you were diagnosed with cancer and you were at age 64, and you were still medicating after age 65.
Yeah, the question is, what happens at 65 if you're in some sort of a health situation? Medicare supplements cannot restrict anything from a pre-existing condition. If you remember, I said there's 40 different products out there. And if you are on medication, take a good look at each of those products, because some of the Medicare stuff flat out exclude a fair amount of the drugs.
If you're on the plan, for example, and Teamsters are paying for your care before you're age 65. When you turn 65, does that just all go over to Medicare?
The question is, what happens at 65? It all goes over to Medicare. It doesn't matter when you got the illness, it matters when you are treated. It doesn't follow illnesses, it's all about incurred dates. All right, should we do this every year? All right. I will get out a written, look for the website. Appreciate the opportunity to come down. You're a great group to work with. We've been answering the phones out of our office now, and at the risk of turning you dangerous, my people that work for me say, "Oh, those Teamsters are so nice and they're so easy to talk to." And I thought, not the ones I talk to. So for those of you that are calling them, thank you. We appreciate it. It's very important to us, and invite me back next year. Thanks.